Welcome back to this month's Roundtable, your all-in-one comprehensive view of what's happening across the real estate industry, straight from some of the industry's earliest technology adopters and foremost experts in technology, marketing, brokerage, government policy, capital, construction, cybersecurity. As always, this is a three-part show. Part one, introductions, what's new for each of our Roundtable hosts in their unique business sector. Part two, sector focus. We unpack the biggest events, trends, paradigm shifts affecting the industry, and what you can do in part three to outpace your competition. I'm Andreas, Senie, founder, CRECollaborative, brokerage owner, and commercial director at KW. In addition to being a technology growth strategist for both the nonprofit and for-profit sector. And joining me this month is none other Rebecca Carlson, founder, CEO, Carlson Integrated, past president, NICAR Association, brokerage owner herself. Becca, always a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Great to be here. Also
joining us, Anna Maria Kowalik, Senior VP, Director of CPACE, provider for commercial CPACE, all things green at Inland, the Inland Group of real estate companies, specifically Green Capital. Anna Maria, always a pleasure to see you as well.
Good evening to all.
As always. Before I forget, I want to wish our audience a happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for you guys tuning in, as thankful as I am for my hosts showing up and being a part of this, and our producer and everything that goes with that. The full roundtable will be back in December. This month, the biggest paradigm shift, candidly, the election, right? The election is behind us. It's closed. It was the biggest variable affecting real estate. That variable is closed. I am buzzing with activity as a broker. Becca, I'm sure you're buzzing with activity as a marketer. And Maria, it's the end of the year. You should be buzzing with loans no matter what. But at the end of the day, it is the end of the year. God bless America. Happy to have this behind us so we can all get back to our day-to-day business, only better, faster, bigger, and broader. Becca, tell me, what's happening on the marketing side? What's your sector facing as we head into November, December?
Well, things have been very busy on the marketing side and supporting clients that are in a variety of fields and industries related to commercial real estate in particular. We have, as soon as the interest rates dropped earlier this fall, our clients who are developers kept reporting back that their phones started ringing. People started wanting to talk to developers. What I'm seeing that carry through now to my clients who are retail owners or working on acquisitions is that they're actually doing deals and closing deals. People are excited about the end of the year and they're seeing a lot of activity, which of course means a lot of activity for us. Investment memorandums, private equity, pitch decks for property development. We've done every week. We've had a growing number of surprise phone calls from clients who need help. And that's what we're here for. We're just another set of hands. So it works out really nicely. But I will tell you that things are happening and it's exciting.
Absolutely. End of the year is always my best time of year. I love the last quarter, right? And this quarter is not falling short by any means. And Anna Maria, on the financing side.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say we are thankful for you, Andreas, and all the good work that you do here and making this opportunity available to all of us. So we love you and thank you very much. So that's one of the things we're thankful for this Thanksgiving. And as well as we're looking forward to thrive in 25 and hopefully, have a better year than we've had. It's been a little slow going. There have been some bumps and challenges throughout, mostly market volatility throughout the year, inflation, et cetera. But it looks like things are settling today. Good news from the Fed, another cut in interest rates. And so that's the second since September. And hopefully
that was 25 basis points for those that didn't tune in, right?
That's correct.
Any reduction's a good reduction. It didn't behave that way when we thought it would, or some thought it would, just last week or 2 weeks ago, right?
Right. But in general, lots of activity, lots of inquiries, lots of people preparing to do more projects and improvements. And, and even from the construction side, we're seeing a little bit more flexible lending opportunities, because CPACE cannot finance everything in the project, and therefore we, you know, we need to have other mechanisms in place. We can finance that energy efficiency or renewable energy component.
So I'm going to ask Chris in December, and I was going to ask him tonight, but I actually have seen some of the costs come down, right?
Yes.
We have a few different models we use, and I've had a few different investors, developers, owners, nationals say to me, no, bring those development costs down. And I went, oh, I'm loving that. So interest rates are headed down a little. Development costs are headed down. Costs are headed down. Income is rising. Again, great day to be in commercial real estate.
Yes.
And the way, at a 13,000 point jump in the stock market, that's a lot of cash to park before the end of the year. That's the way I look at it. And great time to buy real estate. As I do want to highlight to the audience, and being thankful for this audience tuning in, 75% of which are in America, 25% of which are overseas, regardless of your desired outcome. The biggest threat to your business is the next 30 days and how you walk and talk, right? And especially, Becca, I'm glad you're on. I was going to pick on Chris, and I can't not channel Dan Wagner here and say, don't forget about your 1031. It's still at risk, but he'll be back to talk on that, as well as Saul on the data standards, MLS, and so forth. What's the biggest thing people are doing or could be doing as they position themselves through the end of the year to start the year from a marketing standpoint?
Well, when we talk about marketing, a lot of times you talk about what to do and what you're talking about. And there in social media in particular, we can think about what you should post. You want people to know who you are and what you do, what you know. So I find that people talk a lot about their experience and capabilities, their organizations and affiliations, the things that they are involved in within their industry, and maybe in a personally affected charitable type role. Company service offerings, you can never assume that everybody knows what you do, especially if there are additional areas of growth. And all of us are changing and growing and developing new skills and new capabilities. And if people don't know what those are, you can get marginalized or kind of put in this hole where people know you for one thing, but you actually do a lot more than that. So you have to make sure that you have some breadth of explaining the various things that you do. If you're in commercial real estate,
you saying my intro was too long?
I'm saying that's exactly why you need an intro that talks about the various pieces of things that you do, because otherwise people don't know. They can't work with you on one thing if they don't know that. For
the
instance,
breadth and scope of what you offer. And it's not just what we offer, right? It's not me, it's we combined, the team, your company.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I think about like Anne Maria talking about what she does. It's always fun for me to hear her explanation about how they're part of the capital stack and not the whole capital stack, because that triggers people to know, like, oh, I like that lenders do want to talk to her. She's not competitive with traditional lenders. They're actually partners on things, versus thinking, oh, she just does green lending, which then would pigeonhole her and make it like decrease the amount of referrals she could get from that other audience, and also decrease the amount of impact that she can have putting together really successful capital stacks to get the deals done. So it's really important to know, certainly within the commercial real estate space, your listings, your transactions, people love hearing about successful transactions. They love having other people tagged who are part of those deals. The other fun thing I have, there are aspects of commercial real estate where I'm more well-read than others. I love getting article shares from some of my friends and colleagues who are in a little bit different sector.
That's why I think this show is successful, right? It's all of us together. But go on. Sorry to jump in.
No, you can interrupt me all day, every day, Andreas.
And so I'm the host.
I know.
Yeah.
So the other piece is when you talk about like your perspective on professional issues. And my caveat to that is professional issues. So over a number of years, I've compiled like my own little list of that I call gentle suggestions to prevent you from embarrassing yourself.
On social or in marketing in general.
On social and in marketing in general. So like if you're mean in your typing and in your interactions,
that might be at the top of Google when somebody searches for you.
Well, the written word is forever. Yeah. We are saving all of this data, all of this writing. So if people are mean to other people, especially in writing and in a social media or a marketing context, it's a bad thing, and it reflects on the person who's doing it, not on the recipient. Unfortunately, that is how that tends to happen. And I would say what you should do though is interact with people, right? There's a don't be a jerk in your interactions, but do interact with people and companies. They need that interaction so that their posts can go further organically. Another gentle suggestion would be to not include personal comments on professional social media posts. I have an endearing but awkward situation of my own in my own history. My dad used to comment, "I love you, sunshine," on my company social media posts. So as loving and wonderful as that is, it didn't put me in the best light as a professional that my daddy is commenting, "I love you, sunshine," on my posts. Right. It was very sweet, but it was not appropriate for the situation. So you don't
be mindful and set rules, it sounds like, and just be aware. Yes. If you wouldn't shout it out in public, or even if you would shout it out in public, maybe don't shout it out online. That's what it sounds like.
Context. The context matters. So then another piece is regarding political views and not making them your political views front and center unless you really don't care if people avoid you, and you could lose half of the people that you know and like and are connected to. So being really, really conscientious about what you're saying, because people will react to it, but you may never see those reactions. And there's an element also of you're seeing other people's content on social media and in marketing. You can take offense, or you could even cause offense intentionally, but we have the opportunity as business professionals to rise above that, and we should take advantage of that opportunity. In the end, our goal is to build our businesses, and we've worked very, very hard to do that.
And at the end of reputation, network is network, right? Your network has its own views, and there's certain things that people will move on and can be discussed or even debated, but channel and medium is everything. Text is not a debate channel, ergo social media posts is not how you debate things. In my humble opinion, not my humble opinion, my professional opinion. I've had friends similarly that, all of a sudden something pops up and I go, no, not here. Right. This is here. It's important. And people don't think that way all the time. And it's easy to be reactive instead of thoughtful and conscious.
And being the elder person here, I can just say that manners growing up, basically we were taught, if you don't want to have fights at the family Thanksgiving table, don't talk politics, religion. There is the certain laundry list of things that you just kind of shy away from. And in the professional sense, that adheres.
That holds true. Yeah, it holds true, more true today than ever, because there's so many ways you can be outspoken that you're not, Becca beat me up on Threads, beat me up for not being on Threads, but who knows which of my clients are on which channel, right? Even if whether it's my professional, my personal, you just don't know. So again, back to traditional values, methodologies, deal making, good manners, be conscientious of what you're posting, who you're talking to, how you're talking, how you walk through an office, right? Talking to someone. So the in line with posting, everything and anything's recorded today, right? Anywhere we go, ring doorbells, office doorbells. I use an AI note taker. I love it, right? But that means things are being recorded all the time. Mm-hmm. So you never know what, when, and where in this world of a fishbowl we are now living in digitally.
Well, and the one thing that we do want people to record is this interaction that our group has, in so much as it's a one-stop shop for all kinds of things real estate. And so when, as you and Becca were discussing earlier about, your intro and how effective it is or isn't, it is. And it stipulates all the various things that all the experts on this program try to convey. And so knowing that you can utilize any one of us at any time to help further your own business in the audience, we are more than happy to do that for and with you.
Which dovetails back to mentorship and traditional deal making, right? Yes. We build each other. We build our businesses by building each other up, bringing value to each other and to our prospects, clients, customers. And I found that is the true way to get repeat reputation or referral, right? That's the gold standard. And again, blessed to have everyone on the show, to have such a high standard and caliber of guests, not to mention the level of expertise. I'm borrowing from Martin Norkett. Here's his tagline: there's no replacement for experience. If you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. That one's mine, right? And this is a very smart room. And our audience tuning in, Martin and others all over the world, commenting in, interacting, 3,300 tune-ins, downloads monthly. Global show. Who knew that it would grow to be this? I've got team members, new team members, and they're going backwards, like top down. Most recent, backwards, and I'm like, oh my God, when you get to 4 years ago, just stop and just and that's a thank you to our producer, Mr. Mendoza, in the background, for making us all look good, sound good.
Yes.
Speaking of good manners and everything going on, let's shift gears a bit now that we've beat up our audience. Not beat them up. It's just what we're seeing, guys. Every month we give you a tip and a trick and tell you what's happening. That's your biggest threat. Biggest opportunity. We're back in conference season, right? This is conference season. CRETech, ICSC, everybody's now meeting in person, which dovetails into social post and in-person interaction. If you're walking across the conference room hall, you don't know who's next to you. There's 1,000 people there, right? You don't know who overhears what. So just keep well-mannered in all you do. As I understand it, Becca and Maria, you are fresh off, I think, back-to-back local conferences, not little.
Yes.
So how are people out there on the conference side? Out there?
It's very active out there. I moderated one panel. I actually did a presentation at another event. It's been a very active a couple of months here. And the most wonderful part of it is making new relationships. Actually extending that hand and shaking hands and looking people straight in the eye. Nothing replaces that. And and there's so much to be garnered, from having those conversations in person, and a certain trust level that comes about as a result. And so there's nothing can replace that in any business relationship. And so I think that's very important. And Becca and I have seen each other and have been able to hug in person over the last month or so, attending some of the same events. So,
well, and you bring up hug in person, right? Now, think where we were in COVID, right? We're post-COVID. Everything's upward and onward from here.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, it's the only direction we have, and all we can do is grow. Speaking of onward, upward, and big events, shameless plug, not shameless, our partner CRETech, we're going to be there next week. This is not a local event. This is very much the largest gathering of real estate innovation, sustainability, green tech, institutional capital. What was once 80 vendors, 2015, is now 20,000 companies in the space. This is the one place you're going to get it all in one place, in person, live, and candid. Don't worry, we're going to fill you in after the show if you can't make it. Hope to see many of you there. Use our discount code CRECo20NYC for 20% off. Becca Carlson and I will be there in person. While not moderating, you can connect with us through the social media apps, schedule times. Otherwise, we'll see you out on the floor. Special shout out to Michael Beckerman, CEO, who built this thing, this room from 80, right? And the industry mushroomed, and he's still there and he's still growing. We're now at the Javits Center. Now, the conversations aren't as deep. The relationships have deepened over the years, but there's many new faces that you can do business with. So I've got a quick poll here, even though there's three of us. You're handing physical business cards out, right? That's still the thing, not the digital tap and go.
So I do both.
You do both.
Because people sometimes ask for the physical card. They say, you know what? I can't keep everything straight in my phone and I forget. And when I have the physical card, it helps me connect better with you. And so when I get feedback like that, then I go with the audience, you know? I love to be green. It's in, my name, but by the same token, it is sometimes easier to conduct business with something physical. There's that eye-brain hand coordination. Yeah.
Yeah. Cards all day, every day for me.
Mm-hmm.
And not just being a mercenary and just pushing them into someone's hand. Actually having a conversation and an exchange.
That's right.
And
I noticed one other thing too lately. People are taking more notes on the
cards. Oh yeah, biggest faux pas in the world. Hand me a card made out of plastic that I can't take a note. Like I can't really.
That's right. That's right. No. And I've been doing the same thing myself. And again, it's that eye-hand coordination thing that's just human. And so we have to do what we do best, right?
Absolutely. Well, so I won't say which pockets because I know people in this audience have handed me their card. But if you see me at a show, your card goes into a certain pocket, and that's a priority of when you're getting a call back, right?
I was trying to do that.
Hand me cards. I can't do that. You go into a phone with 2,000 contacts. That's why I can't go digital. And I'm tech forward. I'm as tech forward as anyone on this call. I have a tech aggregation.
More.
And I still use cards. I love cards. Matter of fact, I think the entire industry is starved for physical, real conversation, paper. The fact that nobody knows what stationery is anymore is a problem. Handwritten notes. And
the fact that they're teaching handwriting in schools anymore.
We're going to stay away from the political stuff, but yeah, too.
No, it's just but it's not. It's basically just the evolution of where education and everything has gone. That I know cursive used to be a thing.
With ChatGPT 2, then 3, then 4, right? In an email, you don't even know if that's real. If you get a handwritten note from someone, they took time to slow down and write it, right? Not to mention, add your business card to it. Your business card's now on the desk of that owner, that operator, that investor. Your physical logo is now in their office.
Yes.
And I have found they don't throw them out.
I am going to do a plug here. If you are sending holiday cards, audience members, if you are sending physical holiday cards, holidays are going to come faster than you think they are. Get going. Get them.
I already said Happy Thanksgiving because I already know, right? I need to catch up with my audience.
This month is going to fly. Get them into the printer so you have them and have time to do your physical signing.
Yep. And they don't sell well, they may have stationery at CVS, but I found it's a little hard to get. That being said, we are a short show.
We are a shorter show. Places are for.
Go ahead.
That's what the specific paper places are for. You have to go to
it's a little hard to find. Retail may be in its prime, but retail is expensive, right?
Yes.
So your market maybe you have Chicago downtown, but not all of us. I'm outside Manhattan. But well said. What is the one tip you want to give the audience? I know we've given a lot of tips this month. What is the one takeaway for the next 30 days? Let's go forward. That you're pushing forward on your audience, get your loans in, be prepped for 2025, outside of social that you want to give as a takeaway. to the audience for November?
I
Set
would
it backwards,
say
forward.
business as usual.
But
And
faster and better and more of it.
well, I would venture to say slow it down a bit. It's going to get really hectic with the holidays upon us. And so you want to be very intentional with everything that you do, whether it be personally or professionally. And so my best advice, would be business as usual. Take it a step at a time. Be measured. When you rush things, you forget something. When you do things too fast, you miss something. Just be intentional. End out the year well, so that the new year can begin well. And as you know, and as I always say, the future is green.
Loving it. Okay. Becca, what's the biggest takeaway you can give to the audience outside of join you at CRETech? Just kidding. Go ahead.
Huge takeaway. Join me at CRETech.
Yeah.
The other takeaways are look for opportunities to connect with people. And there are lots of holiday parties and lots of opportunities that are going to surface. So making sure that you have the space and time in your calendar to go to them. And I agree with Anna Maria, not rushed, but to go to them with the intentionality of putting faces with names of people that you haven't had the opportunity to meet in person. It is a really special time of year for that. I meet people that I've heard of or had conversations on a phone with every time I'm out this time of year. So sometimes I would rather be at home in my jammies and my slippers and eating copious amounts of junk. But it is a contact sport. Real estate is a contact sport. So prioritizing which ones you're going to go to, committing to them, and going are all an important piece of this season.
That's right. They're your 2080 golden deal hours. It's the end of the year. Assuming you take your 2-week vacation, not many of them left. And that's 9 to 5. That doesn't include the after hours events. And what I'm hearing is deepening your intention and your relationships from both of you. That's what I'm going to echo back. Because again, network is net worth. I'm blessed to have you guys on the show. I'm blessed to have the network I have you. Saul, Darren, Dan, Anna Maria, Rebecca, Chris Abel. And it's just been incredible growing in the industry together and always looking to others to support me as I support them. And what else could you ask for in this holiday season? So I'm going to save my Merry Christmas and end of the year for December, but it is the best time of year for real estate, personally, professionally. Let's all be conscious of that and bring a little magic back into everyone's day as we move forward. There was a statement made at a conference I was at in Texas, and I'm going to share it. Believe in the evil you see with your 2 eyes and nothing else, and believe in the good in the world, whether you see it or not. So that being said, once again, thank you to our audience for making us not only a global show, but in the top 10% on Google per tune-ins and downloads. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing up and showing out. Looking forward to December, looking forward to November. Going to have a great time at CRETech. You can catch us anywhere you get your audio on all major social media channels. Full roundtable back for December. And don't forget to like, rate, and review us. It really does help. And those of you tuning in live on social media, don't forget, you can comment in, question in. We will call you out as long as your comments are not aggressive, right? Pointing back to Becca's statements. If you're here and you're bringing value, we will absolutely talk through it with you. And we love having you. Enjoy the rest of the month. Looking forward to CRETech, ICSC, and otherwise. Hat tip to my fellow hosts and all of their growing businesses, and hat tip to our audience as their businesses continue to grow, because I get to see it and watch it, as do you. Mr. Mendoza, will you lead us out? Thank you for all you do as well.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Roundtable, powered by CRECo.ai, your source for the latest in real estate and technology. For past episodes, sector interviews, and more great content, follow us on all social media and YouTube at CRECollaborative. You can also find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please like, subscribe, and share. It really does help. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next Real Estate Roundtable.